It's like you're constantly selling, regardless of how long they've been a client, right?
Exactly.
Reminding of them of the value that you're bringing them.
Oh
Right.
yeah, and it makes sense. If I were in the chair of the client, I would be doing the exact same thing. Hey, before I sign this bill, what am I going to get out of it? What did I get out of it last year? So it really is the responsibility of me as a business owner to remind them of past value. And when we weren't doing that, I had people who we'd worked with for 10 years who through our recommendations had either made six figures, high six figures worth of money for them, or had saved six figures worth of money through forgiven debt and other recommendations that benefited them. And then after all of that, if it comes time to renew, they're saying, well, I don't know. What are we going to do next year? And in my mind, I'm thinking, how dare you? All the things that we've done for you. But that really isn't their responsibility. If they're getting to the end of the year and they're feeling like they can't articulate the value that we're providing, it's because we haven't reminded them and we haven't done a good job of putting right in their face, here are the things that we've already done, and here are things that we can do moving forward.
Yeah, I'm sure you have to be very intentional about that. That's across the board with every client, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's some of the biggest mistakes you've made in your short tenure here?
Well, short tenure as an owner, but I've been in the business of a long time now.
Right.
So there are several. In terms of when I started, I really wish when I started that I had a better idea of how I wanted to structure or really just put more thought into how I wanted to be working 10, 15 years down the line. Because when I started, the downside of doing that school of transactions method where you're meeting with as many people as you possibly can is if you're not careful, you're also making promises to a ton of people that you don't have to follow through on. So to me, when I started, I did not quite understand the difference between somebody that is a one-time customer and somebody who is a long-time client. A person who I'm doing planning for year after year after year, that's a long-term client. A person who comes to me and gets a life insurance policy, that's a one-time customer. But I was not doing a good job of setting expectations with that one-time customer to let them know, this is not something that we're going to continuously do year after year after year. So I'm making promises to people who are paying me and people who are not paying me. And I got
Mm.
burned out very quickly because I have people who expect my time because I didn't make it clear to them, oh no, like this was a one-time transaction that benefited you, but these are the ongoing clients who I meet with regularly. So when it
Mm.
came time to actually put some meat on the bone and structure our services and make that clear, I had to go to several people and apologize for not making that clear, and you can burn bridges that way. So I didn't know any better, but that's looking back a mistake that I made. And then in terms of when we started our firm, one that I would definitely point out is we underpriced ourselves in a major way. And a lot of it was a lack of confidence in me going to someone and asking them to spend $5,000 a year or $6,000 a year. So we were charging, I would say half at most of what your typical market rate would be for an advisor of similar credentials. And I ran into the problem of having to sign up too many people and burning myself out again. So it is
Mm.
no fun going to someone that you charge $2,200 for a year and saying, hey, I, incorrectly priced our offerings. Would you consider more than doubling what you're paying to $5,000 or $6,000? It doesn't go over so well. So
Right.
to me, I really wish that before we set our service offerings and the prices, I had looked around the market, done a little more research to figure out for the level of service we're offering, what should we be charging instead of just picking an arbitrary number.